Yeah, welcome back. Now I was looking at this over there. I was actually watching the BBC text service. You know, when you press the red button on the TV, you get that text service thing, and it was like BBC News there things. And I was just noticing how the stories, you know, like it was neat British stories for a start. Right? This is meant to be BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, and just every single story was some foreign crap. Right? And this one come up, right? There's this headline here. Like Bronny James sets up for LeBron in Lakers win. And I think, what the hell's that like, you know? Bronny James sets up LeBron, but it didn't see a father, I don't think. Right? When I was looking on the text thing, it says Bronny James sets up LeBron. I didn't know what it meant, you know what I mean? And then I sort of twigged it. Like Lakers, that's that basketball team in America, like, you know. And I thought, what the hell's that thing on there? What's that thing on the BBC? You know, like NATIVE-BRITONS or something. You know, it was like about the fourth story. You know, down. Like obviously the Iran thing or something. It was first. Something about Donald Trump was second. You know, something about Palestine or whatever was third. Right? And then this. So I'm thinking, what the hell's that got to do with you know, like Britain? You know, to the American basketball, right? And I was thinking, right, about who in Britain, right? It occurred to us, right, the BBC, right, had started broadcasting live American basketball games, right? Like obviously with a time difference in the middle of the night and stuff like that, you know, starting at 2:30 in the morning or something like that. Right? And I was just thinking, like, well, who's going to be, you know, who else is going to be sitting watching that? Right? And then of course it occurred to us, right, only the black community in London. You know, that's who's going to be watching it, if anybody's going to be watching it. Right? So you're talking about the specifically, obviously, broadcasting things for an immigrant populace, right? But and then I thought more about it, and I thought, wait, you know, them tower blocks where basically the black communities in London live, right? And Birmingham type of thing, you know, specifically it's London based in it. You know, them tower blocks, right? Or they're gonna be paying license fee money, you know, for BBC, right? And you know, like, I wouldn't think so, you know, would you? So what they're doing is, right, they want obviously the native British populace to pay license money, right, while catering and pandering to obviously immigrant communities, right? As you say, this, right, you know, putting on live basketball games, right, and what's it called, the American football as well, right? Like you see it through the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Now who the hell's going to be sitting watching that, right? Only one community, inverted commas, you know, probably sitting smoking drugs and whatever, watching that, right? I mean, that's what it's for, that's who they're catering for, right? But yet they're expecting the native British, you know, like Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bloggs, right? Like, you know, average type people, right, to pay the money, right? And as I say about that, you know, imagine sending the BBC license fee collector out to one of them tower blocks in London. You know, they wouldn't dare set foot in a place, would they? You know, because obviously, you know, the whole concept of their community idea is gangsterism and all this. You know, even if they're not gangsters, they're pretending to be gangsters or whatever. You know, the whole culture of them is this sort of gangsterism type thing, right? So obviously, they wouldn't dare send a BBC licensed person into the bloody tower block, because, you know, they'd be too scared to set foot in it, right? So you see this, right, starting with April the 1st, right, April Fool's Day, right? Because you must be a fool if you're still going to be paying that now, right? 180 quid for a colour TV licence, yeah. And like I say, can you imagine them ones doing the tower blocks in London paying their bloody BBC licence? Yet the garbage, the broadcasting is all aimed at them, right? You know, like the crappy programmes what they put on, the sports even. You know, obviously there's not even any type of British sports on the BBC. No, you know, they used to show the World Darts thing, right? Back when it was like proper Britain and all that. Now it's American-based crap, you know. and they want the native Britons, ethnic Britons, to pay the money that the new immigrants aren't prepared to pay, right? You know what I mean? And pandering to their garbage, what they want to watch. I mean, it's a fucking disgrace. You know, here's the Saturday night lineup from 1980. Taking off that. That's at 5:40 next Saturday. Taking off the archive thing from 1980. It's Saturday night.
Programmed tonight on BBC One. In 15 minutes, Larry Grayson's Generation Game with Myra Sinclair. At 7:15, a demonstration attracts the attention of the press in Juliet Bravo.
Did you confirm, Inspector, or deny that as a member of a Marxist-Leninist cell, the man you have in your custody was under the surveillance of a special branch?
At 8:05, Paul Daniels entertains in his own unique fashion and introduces his guests, Hans Moretti and Goroku.
As you can see from that, I mean, you might not see, oh, brilliant or whatever, but I mean, Larry Grayson's Generation Game was good, you know, that was funny as. Basically, the programmes in 1980 was a good lineup of programmes, right? You know, entertainment wise and all that. I mean, obviously, there's better things than Paul Daniels about and all that, but it was still alright, right? So in 1980, right, I mean, there was an argument for paying licence fee. Right? It was catering to its British populace, and they wanted to see entertainment. Obviously, Doctor Who, you know, which was good at that time, and nice bit of comedy and all that, you know.
The Saturday film at 9 o'clock is The Taking of Pelham 123.
And there you go, you know, like a decent movie as well, type of thing, right? And then obviously, Match of the Day, when obviously the football was still British man's game, and the World Darts with Jockey Wilson or something like that, all decent lineup of programmes for the British populace, right?
What's up, Zeke? Train's gonna hijack you.
At 10:40, Michael Parkinson's guests are Lily Palmer, Larry Adler and Itzhak Pelmer. And at 11:40, Sergeant Bilko has trouble training his new boxing protege. Entertainment for Saturday.
So basically, we were talking about a lot better stuff. It was catering to, you know, British, obviously, British people in their own lands. You know, as it should be, But like I say, you know, now the want, they're sending the British people, they're treating the British people with such contempt. They're sending threatening letters in the post and all this, right? Even old people and stuff like that, right? Threatening the shit with the people, trying to get them to pay for this bloody foreign crap. You know, this degenerate foreign broadcasting garbage, what they put on now, right? Of course, at this point, right, like I see, every sort of news thing what they put on is basically foreign. It's not that they were Britain. As you say, Samir Shaw, born in India, and moved to the UK in 1960, and that's who's running your BBC. So obviously, you know, you're not going to get any British stuff, you know what I mean? Basically, we had this was a BBC series we'd stepped to and stuff, right? And obviously I had like countless other comedy things and all that, which classic sort of things we'd hold up to this day. You know, if you watch these, obviously they're good to this day, right? This is what they make now, right? Man like Moorbean, I don't know what that means. Right? It's not even sort of comprehend the bloody language. But obviously, you know what type of thing this is, really, urban crap, right? It's not it's not aimed at obviously British peoples, right? It's aimed at the new urban immigrant type of thing. And as I say, even when it's on BBC, so that's BBC British People's Licence money, right? Paying for this garbage. And then they're screaming on other things which are making profit off it anyway. Right? And it follows his efforts to live a good life as a Muslim. I mean, I don't want to watch that like they, you know what I mean? It's like, it's pitiful. Yeah, but I expect us to pay, and the people, the target audience, right? As I say, they're not going to pay shite. They're not going to pay. You know, so this is out of hand, like totally. Right? As another example of the stuff, right? This is this one BAFTA awards, right? Now, I remember like back when I was a kid or something, the thing where won BAFTA awards on the telly was like Laurence Olivier or something, Day and Shakespeare or something like that. Right? And this is what wins BAFTA awards now. Right? Big zoos, big eats. Right? So this obviously Islamic garbage. Basically eating bloody burgers or something like that. You know, you don't run cooking beef burgers or something. Right? Or, you know, probably not pork like beef burgers. Right? And that wins BAFTA awards. That shows you the dumb and dumb, right? Of the British society, right? But like I say, people still think they're sort of, you know, like Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bloggs or something, like a number 15 or something. Still think they're living in the old-fashioned British society. You know, where the old rules apply, and it's just not that at all. Yeah. It's been took over, man. It's been took over. It's like literal. It's like an invasion, and then a takeover, and they're just doing it piece by piece, you know. So as you see, they've got BBC diversity, inclusion, and belonging strategy. Right? Now, you know, there's every type of community and all this represented in this, bar for the native British ones, right? And that's straight up like, you know, like, it's unbelievable, you know. There's no programs on the TV for native British peoples anymore, you know, literally. The only things what are is the old repeats, which are obviously not shown on BBC, they're shown on all these like other channels and that. And, you know, and these old repeats are being paid for about 1,000 times a piece, right? So anyone paying a BBC licence fee, you know, just forget it. Because any decent programme is being paid for 1,000 times over, right? And now they're just taking the money and channeling it into shit like this. And producing garbage, which is for basically foreigners, you know. It's like, it's a rip-off, like, it's absolute rip-off, and that's putting it mildly, right? Look at this garbage. You belong. You notice there was no white faces in it, you know. So basically, you know, again, this is replacement strategy, you know. It's probably unbelievable.